If for no one else, then yeah, make sure that the mic actually is maintained over time, because sometimes it'll just slip and things will happen. So, as we get 7th Curse 3 Custom Mysteries, because we're playing with the Custom Old God, yeah, we'll see what happens. That's all I really have to say. And I think if I run into any bugs, it'll be interesting to see. But otherwise, let's move into our next character, and let's see what else. All I did was make little tweaks to the event I had, because again, we're working with the Custom Old God. So, hopefully I pronounced this correctly for timestamp's sake as I get into Aaron. Well, I'm just gonna say Aaron. 7th Curse, 3 Custom Mysteries, and a custom character with 5 Strength, 4 Dexterity, 5 Perception, 7 Knowledge, 3 Charisma, and for today, we have a Butterfly Knife equipped. So, I think I've used these items before. I might introduce another custom items, weapons, and so on and so forth, gradually, but we'll see. Dexterity Light, Takshisan, second encounter Charisma, and maybe a Strength check, but there is a hungry dog waiting for me, so I have to do this recording. Otherwise, I mean, we're focused here for the moment. I mean, I just assume they're hungry because it's kind of that there's a dog just looking at me. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. And away we go. So, Illegal Den, Custom Mysteries. I think I did add a certain thingamajiggy to my rotation. This character also has a Ritual Dagger, but for the little thingy's sake, we're just gonna do this. Also, I'm pretty sure a certain follower in Cult, or just the follower in Cult, does not disappear, but I guess we'll find out. So, also, oh, well, we'll go over this first. Akamanto footage, feat, torture, and taxi. Well, 1 boss, 2 boss, 3 boss, 4 boss. Well, actually, I should do some math now. So, this is a dexterity weapon. Its speed, each attack is 56 time units. Nope, I'm going crazy. Each attack is 58 time units. 3 times 4 is 12, 70 minus 12 is 58. And then, yeah, 4 damage, 75 chance to hit. But the first attack is a strong attack. If I'm doing this math right, so the strong attack should be 105 speed, but you divide that by 2. So my question is, does the stat take place, and this does not have to do with any bugs, I'm just thinking of math right here, but, so that would be 105 minus 16, because it's 4 times stat, instead of 3 times stat for strong attacks, and if I'm speaking a bunch of gobbledygook, then forgive me for the moment. That's just how it works. All you have to, that's just trust me, bro. But then that would mean the speed is 89. So in that calculation, divided by 2, it would be, unless I'm doing my math wrong, 89 divided by 2, 45 or 46 time units. Either or, then we know that calculation's happening. Otherwise, what I suspect is going to happen is, actually, is that more? Basically, I'm trying to take the lesser of the two. So if it's 105, it's important to go through this now so I can try to go for an Akamanto play. 105 divided by 2, 52-ish, or 53. 52, 53, one of the two, minus 16. And that would be, we would see a 30-something. So let's find out which, how fast my first strong attack is here. Or if it's just bugged. But again, that's not a negative or positive comment. I'm just making a comment here. Because if that's the case, I can save Akamanto for later and take the 3 more painful mysteries later. I mean, Taxi's not guaranteed, so you know what? Actually, we'll take Taxi 4th and cross our fingers and hope to not die. So, into feet we go. We definitely need the handcuffs. High threat level school, max mansion, max village. So where are we investigating the most here? I did kind of rub my hands there, but I'm just gonna put in the school. I'm just gonna monkey brain and go school. You should probably actually kind of think about your investigations, but if you don't know, you can just monkey brain it like I do. The reason why I pick school over max threat level mansion and max threat level village is because on average you're visiting the school a lot more often than the other two, unless of course you have household hell and vigil, or you have bulletin into flood that takes you into the village, or you investigate the village. That's the realistic thing. I was thinking of which one was which there. I guessed wrong anyway. I thought it was perception. Was it perception? Anyway. Well, actually, I can't tell how fast I'll be with a butterfly knife anymore, because we just got an effect that increased the speed of our offensive actions. But we can kind of still go through it. I'm assuming it's no more than 10%. I guess we'll find out. It's unfortunate because we just ran into an encounter here. But yeah, it seems to be the slower calculation, as to be expected. And the reason why I say that is because, again, I don't think the vicious effect on Aaron would have increased our time speed by more than 20. Actually, I can go through it. Yeah, it's 10%. So that means we would have been faster than 39%, 39 time units if we were doing the divide by 2 and then use the stat multipliers. Unless there's a bug where I'm misunderstanding something or I did my math wrong. It could be a whole plethora of things I got wrong. But for the moment here, let's just go, Yujin no Naifo Kurai! And then go on with our life. So, yeah, I think we just prep attack here. 8 damage is pretty cool. Going for more is the preferred option if you believe in your luck to any extent. So, off we go. Again, I could just be getting my things wrong. Inquisitive. Knowledge? Nope. Charisma. Well, hey. Worse things have happened. Also, we just took burns, so that's something to look at. Otherwise, we leave quietly and please come again and get rid of our burns for the love of everything. Don't turn into a... Okay, I was about to say hasty. One of the most negative things that can happen from treating a wound is it turns into hasty aid and it turns into cut artery. I think cut artery trumps almost every curse, barring, well, the obvious examples like curses that would zero stat you, which causes you to lose the run immediately. But hey, we got 50 twice, by the way. I just want to put that into perspective for my own RNG. Also, let me just make a statement here. I think I mentioned something in the last... Yeah, so I didn't... Any criticism was more objective criticism in terms of like how frequently you can roll a 1 or an 100 in a single encounter, just to put that out there. Otherwise, I mean, in general, it's my brain going, is what I'm trying to say. And not in the bad way. But, yeah, we gamble on the normals and we go for the strongs. Now, 2 all is quite a bit of damage to take, but we can deal up to 14 damage, which is pretty nice. So we're going to gamble on that again. Never mind, I got slower. Why did I become slow? Oh, because my, the first strong attack in the encounter. For some reason, I misunderstood and thought it was the first strong attack of a turn. My mistake. Hey, the more you know. But otherwise, let's move on here. So, our first mystery, we took about half HP's worth of damage, but we should still have the path, yeah. And is there a curse I can get rid of? Probably brain damage. Yeah, probably brain damage. It's not the worst curse to remove, but it is a curse. Like if you saw it during a run, and especially if you didn't believe you were gonna get any worse curses or otherwise, just get rid of brain damage. 2 knowledge can mean quite a lot to certain characters. Not this one as much, but because I'm pretty sure we don't have the knowledge check anyway. But things can happen. So yeah, let's take dexterity and strength because I like to brace after a certain point. Akamanto television. So yeah, let's take Akamanto first. I forgot if the boss of television is always a non-human enemy, but too late to tell now. Also have to remind myself that I can't get allies, but I'll probably just end up, brute forcing myself. Okay, so when I mentioned there were worse things to look at, oh my goodness, this is the curse run. I mentioned that Aaron grants you a bunch of items on the usual, but, usually, I don't know why I said it that way, but basically, again, if nothing else, if I didn't say before, I wanted to say this as well, is that Aaron at least shows you a lot of what you can do with the custom Old God. A period. I don't have anything else for that sentence. So, light the Holy Candle, move on. Because the Holy Candle doesn't get consumed, that's why the Holy Candle can be very, very, valuable. We do need to get rid of Mind Wipe, though, unfortunately. So, 2 reason and a whole hope of wishing. We do get a flare gun for our trouble, but that's only if we run into an eldritch enemy, because otherwise 2 damage, I mean, it can mean the difference, but we took another burns, we also took ringing ears, so we are in a lot of pain now. And now we don't have the luxury of getting rid of our injuries, so we need to one-shot Akamanto here. Otherwise, yeah, 4 all damage is not on my to-do list today, so had a cough. Keeping in mind that, yeah, we are not able to do much because of our slower... Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, I say yeah, but what I mean by that is that Aaron definitely throws a lot of RNG in a run. So, now, now I can't speak of negatives and positives in one way. In the negatives, it can make... That can feel like a character is not as influential on a run as they are, even though that's not true. You still have Aiko, Toshiaki, and Ayaka. But aside from that, we have to throw everything we have, by the way. Do we flare gun? 9 damage. Hold on, let me do some math. 10 damage. Yeah, we flare gun, funny enough. So this is one of the threshold cases in which using the flare gun is actually better for you. Or plant type enemy, I forgot. But because we are able to handcuffs the way we are, we don't have to take for all damage. Again, just to reiterate, handcuff tech is pretty important. But if you don't use it, you can survive perfectly fine without it. You're just taking a lot more damage, actually. So, yeah, you know what? That outweighs what I just said in the positive, but hey. But yeah, on the positive of Aaron is that Aaron at least... you can still argue in the opposite of what I mentioned for character influence in that... a character can still identify themselves in an Aaron run where you're just getting a bunch of stuff, even if Aaron, like, the specific case is what happens if Aaron happens to basically outdo what your character does. So in the case of Aiko, if Aaron just slows all of your actions and you never get any speed increases, shrug, I guess. In this case, we have the Butterfly Knife, in which we have a faster weapon, but we get slower offensive actions overall, on top of curses that slow us as well. So, or injuries that slow us. But you get the point. But at the same time, I mean, that doesn't mean that they're... like, it would be worse if we were using a character or weapon that were not as fast. So, again, you can still argue the opposite point there. We do need to get rid of these burns, by the way. That was your bird. That was our bird, not yours, if you have a bird. But, is there anything else? I think there's something else. Not bloated. No, just branded. Which I would have liked to take care of, but... our Doom's okay. Can be really bad. We do have Akamanto's Mask as well, but still. Knowledge... do I want faster level ups, even though it's a little bit faster? It's not... actually, depending on... if you have a pseudo-infinite, yes. But... otherwise, I don't normally take Morbid Inspiration unless it's the better of the perks. Haunting Dreams, I like the recovery. But that's not the end-all be-all, because you never know, right? Anywho. Knowledge decreases, so... good thing we didn't have a knowledge check, but... if nothing else, again, going back to my earlier point, is that... so it's 2 funds if you have the school uniform, I think. But, to my earlier point, that Aaron is also here, not as a placeholder, that's not what I want to say, but Aaron exists as, again, a kind of display of what you can do as an old god. If you want to influence stats a lot, you can do that. If you want a custom old god that gives you a lot of curses, or a lot more curses based on certain circumstances, I don't know which circumstances, but you get the point. You can do a lot, but let's just attack and move on. Or, if nothing else, to see how fast I can attack. Okay, that's not bad. So, unless we just want to gamble on this. Yeah, we gamble on this. 50-50 one-shot. Prep Strong is more for guaranteed attacks, but if you can RNG your way out in the first turn, I mean, might as well, right? If you're gonna 2-turn regardless, at a good chance. We get Ringing Ears again, by the way, so that has to go away. That goes away at the end of the mystery, but it's not great. There was something else I wanted to say. Basically, Aaron is overall a good thing. Nice 12-roll game. You tried to sneak that past me, eh? But 1, 2, 3, 4? Question mark? 5. I have to remember so I can just mash through this. But otherwise... dexterity to cut Kimiko free, so just attack, never mind. Rolled another 12, by the way, that's... okay, I'm gonna pull out the calculator, because it's been a while since I've done that twice. Or at least made this calculation twice. What are the odds of rolling 12 twice in a row? 1 divided by 12, and multiply the result by itself. 0.69%. I would leave it there to be funny, but it's actually 0.69 for... 0.69... 0.694... 0.694 repeating 4s percent chance of that happening. So yeah, basically this old god is definitely the bane of my existence, but that's not a bad thing for the, again, for World of Horror health as a whole. Also, are we in trouble here, by the way? If we can use the Kendo helmet, sure. If not, pain. I don't even think. We might have to go for a dodge play. Well, I don't want to bet the farm on a strong attack there, so let's instead do... let me just tell you right now that if I could... yeah, if my time multiplier was not at 1.08, I would be able to do a lot more comfortable things. Basically, if I miss one of these attacks, I'm gonna be really sad. But otherwise, we probably throw the Kendo helmet here? Yeah, we do, because throwing the Kendo helmet would allow me to... defeat this boss in this turn. So hopefully we get an 81%-ish, and off we go. But yeah, otherwise Aaron has really hurt me this run. Or Aaron could do a lot of good things in your run and only give you like 3 curses and like 6 tiny cuts, because tiny cuts, again, to reiterate, until we get something that changes injuries specific injuries into other injuries, in this case, tiny cuts into cut arteries or something like that, then, yeah, cut arteries in game. Robots, don't hurt me. Otherwise, taxi. We do have 52% doom, so we can rest if we need to. Nice. Did I ever notice that there's a taxi in this downtown icon? But anywho. Yeah, we hope for the best. Cauterize immediately. Otherwise, we hold on to a Thotu Flame. The main downside, quote-unquote, main downside to a Thotu Flame is that it takes away doom. But if, say, you were in an encounter like this, although we do 10 damage per one, possibly, yeah, a Thotu Flame shows it's worth a lot better, because it only, until unless the cost of spells can increase, which I wouldn't recommend that. You can do it for immersion sake. Like, if you want to make a custom Old God, or the developer adds an Old God that increases costs at base for whatever reason, at the current moment, spells are not effective on average. Obviously, there are a few standouts, and obviously there are moments in which you can use these things. We're actually going to use it here, though. Situations in which you can use them effectively, but other than that, on average, you're not using as many spells. Objectively speaking, at least in my opinion, this is an objective statement. Not that, again, the spells are used in pseudo-infinites here and there, but as you can see, I mean, I'm sure that I've run into cases on which I could use a pseudo-infinite here and there. But, I'm trying to think because I'm looking at Aaron's effects on me as well. Hey, normal weapon attacks are fast. But, what am I trying to say here? I'm going crazy. Spells, yeah. Spells are, I believe spells are not often used, basically. Not to say that you can't use them if you feel like using them. I'm just saying that, like, math-wise, there's usually not a reason to. We can pop the Holy Candle if we need to do a thing. Feel average. What does that mean? I should actually look that effect up. Otherwise, pain. Can we do 3 attacks here? I know I can do a strong. 91%. Yeah, let's go for it. There's a good chance we get out this turn, and if we don't, like we missed 2 of those attacks, I was going to get really sad. But I think there was something I can also get rid of. No, never mind. I'm lying. Yeah, a lot of a lot of tiny cuts, obviously, but again, you can kind of just ignore those. It's the other ones I'm worried about, like Stalker, or in Smasuluk if you're visiting the seaside by the seashore. Burn again, ringing ears. Like, is that always guaranteed ringing ears? If that is, then I don't really mind. If it's not, I'm just sad about myself. So let's find out. Faster attack, our normal attacks are faster. Yeah, that's okay. 5 doom though, sure. If we're gonna run anyway, we might as well take the experience from this encounter. Although I could have gone for a Desperate Struggle. I don't remember if this enemy had 25 HP. If they did, then there's not much I could do, I think, unless I had another thing. God and Ally, but we're on 7th Curse, so Ikumi joined me into an elevator shaft, and, well, that didn't go well. Otherwise, at the end of this, actually I should have checked my storage now. We can also equip the Crestfallen Mask now. Invite for a coffee, so we don't lose any more reason, but otherwise, actually should have equipped this map first. Too late now. I think having it in the inventory is still good enough, and that's mainly because I know that any custom mystery I'm using at the moment does not use events that are affected by the plugin I'm using, basically. I keep calling it a plugin. If I'm wrong about that, please correct me, but otherwise, luck decreases. Don't really care about that, thankfully. But otherwise, here we go. I don't remember if you use cigarettes here, but you definitely... Oh, we still have burns, by the way. Well, and then branded procs, so... Yep, branded procking, branded procking, branded procking, taking more burns, and yeah, we have to get rid of those burns, because otherwise we're taking 2+ damage. And yeah, and again, I'm not saying anything positive or negative, I'm just saying, when you're taking a lot of burns, and I know things can be implied based on what I say, but... that doesn't change the fact that taking 2 burns is 2 extra damage. And I know one of them came from Taxi, but still. Anyway, discharge summary. And again, maybe good luck. You get like 3 discharge summaries from getting rid of 3 injuries, but otherwise, you could also get 3 hasty aids and take badly bleeding, cut artery, and broken bone. Shrug. That's the 3rd time I've rode 50 in a run, by the way. And off we go. Charisma question mark? If I'm scared about my reason? And then I can... Oh, wait, no, I was going to say, I can also recruit students, and I just realized, no. So. And then a quick base World of Horror note. Yes, I would normally take the mansion investigations, but I don't if the mansion is at max threat level, because the doom increase there can be worse than entering the forest and just going away. I thought that was doom decrease. But anywho, basically, if we make it out of this mystery, we'll survive. If we don't, sad things. Oh, dodge actions are faster. Of course, I would get that. We get a lost wallet for our trouble, but yeah, we didn't need these funds. We do, however, want to keep these cigarette buffs active. But if we don't get to, then we don't get to. A Thotu Flame would probably be really, really cool here. Yeah, it would. So a Thotu Flame it is. That way we can also Desperate Struggle. Again, that's a very niche use of Thotu Flame, but if you can use it, it's good to identify when you can. I know I've often made mistakes before in not using spells, but here, it's kind of hard to ignore. So, how much damage am I actually doing here? Yeah, that's 12. Okay, well, yeah, 12. That's all we need. Lump of Flesh, off we go. And magic happens. So, yeah, we can afford to roll Charisma here. We rolled a 1, thankfully. That'll kind of make up for the rolling a 12 twice during the run. But otherwise, roll a 10. Oh no, my luck decreased by 1. Oh! And that is me making fun of the fact that RNG is just slapping me in the face. That was 2 10s in a row, by the way. But anywho. Otherwise, let me know how often you have a character with at least 10 in a stat. Yeah, that's all I have to say at the moment. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I could grab something and go, but we're just going to walk up this lighthouse after resting like... Yeah, we'll just do that. Probably was not great for my Doom, but I've kind of checked out because all of this RNG nicotine withdrawal in my face into... We have a broken bone somewhere. Also, Aaron is rolling dice here as well, so that's interesting to note. Because that means that a lot of funky stuff can happen. We are very slow because of nicotine withdrawal, but we can do the best of what we've got. And part of that is probably using a Thotu Flame once. Now, this does mean that I lose to a thingamajiggy. Oh my goodness, my brace actions. Okay, I guess we do need to dodge. If we don't dodge, I'm pretty sure we lose here. So let's find out. Also, if we don't hit this attack, we have to dodge again. Yeah, I probably should... Yeah, well... no, it's not over yet. But I think we use the Thotu Flame again. Because if we're already gonna lose by stamina, we might as well just push ourselves further. Oh my goodness, my actions! Help! Actually, I don't... No, that's because I used the Thotu Flame. I'm going crazy. Okay, I don't remember my second encounter at all. So, let's try to think. I don't think I took feet first. Or did I? No, I took feet first because I did Akamanto second. Did I fight the boss second, then? Because I have no idea. Maybe I fought the quote-unquote reporter beforehand. I know I fought some... There's no way I went through feet without fighting... Yeah, I was about to say, there's no way I went through feet without fighting a single enemy, right? Anywho. We'll save this level up in case we need it. Max freeze increases by 1. A bit late. And Lump of Flesh time. So, keep in mind, Branded can proc here and we can lose. But okay, I was about to say, if we had 6-4, by the way. But hey, by the skin of our teeth, and actually I could have rested a lot less, we survived. So yeah, if you have anything to say, any comments, criticism, concerns, corrections to any misinformation I've said on accident, I'm pretty sure, then let me know. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye!